You know, there's a significant event coming up on Saturday. Yeah, I know it's Star Wars Day. It also happens to be Wildfire Community Preparedness Day. And with close to 19 million acres being burned in our country over the last 2 years, wildfires, even here in New Jersey, yes, continue to be a significant threat to lives and property. With Saturday, May 4th, tomorrow being designated as Wildfire Community Preparedness Day, research shows risks can be reduced when residents take just a little bit of time to prepare. And here to share some potentially life-saving tips with us today, I want to welcome in the Wildfire Division Director of the National Fire Protection Association, the NFPA. We have Michele Steinberg, who's with us here on the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline. Good morning, Michele. It's Bert Barron. How are you?
Good morning, Bert. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. And I think, unfortunately, people in New Jersey don't take the wildfire threat all that seriously. We're a developed state. We got a lot of people. But, you know, I don't know how familiar you are with our state's geography. The southern part of our state is called the Pinelands for a reason. And we're talking about millions of acres where recently we had not one but two wildfires, Michele, where thousands, tens of thousands of acres were burned. And fortunately, no lives were lost, no property was damaged. But even in a state like New Jersey, this is a priority.
Absolutely, and I am familiar with the Pinelands and the Pine Barren areas. That's an ecosystem, a natural area that needs fire in order to keep the species that are so important to that ecosystem thriving. Unfortunately, we live close to it. We live in this natural area, and we need to be aware that wildfires will happen. But just because they happen doesn't mean it has to be a disaster. People can do things ahead of time, especially tomorrow on Wildfire Community Preparedness Day, such as cleaning up their gutters, decks, porches, the areas are right around their homes, and in sort of parks and playgrounds, common areas, to keep the material that otherwise would burn from a fire from spreading to homes and businesses.
And I guess there's a variety of reasons, Michele, and you've probably heard them all over your years in your work as to how and why wildfires begin. I believe it's everything from lightning strikes to human carelessness to sometimes just a spark from a car on a road that triggers a fire. There's really a wide variety of reasons why wildfires begin, right?
That's absolutely right. Lightning can cause wildfires, but definitely where we have a lot more people living in the landscape, people are usually the cause in one way or another, usually accidentally, and even the kinds of things that we build, a problem with an electrical transformer or a down power line can actually spark a wildfire on a dry, windy day.
Silly humans. One of these days we're going to learn to do things the right way, Michele. I don't know. But the important thing is this is an opportunity now for homeowners this weekend and particularly tomorrow. Like you said, prepare your home in advance of a threat like this. I mean, something as simple as gutters and dead leaves and debris. And we still see in New Jersey, too, on our landscape, Michele, downed trees. We had not one but two strong hurricanes hit our state in this decade. We had Irene, we had Sandy the very next year. We got dead trees all over the place in this state, and they continue to pose a hazard for us, right?
Right, and even when fire is happening, say in the Pine Barrens or in stands of trees or dead material, pretty far away from your home, the problem is that embers come out of these fires, these little pieces of burning material that can be carried by the wind for up to a mile. And if you think about where the embers are going to land, that's where you need to pay attention around your home. So your roof, your gutters, under your eaves, if there's a lot of bark mulch, say, right up against the house, that's places that embers will land and start to burn that material that can carry to the sides of your house or get into your house, which is definitely not what you want.
No,
so that's
absolutely.
the reason we talk about those little things to clean up. It's actually really effective to keep embers from igniting around your home.
And just like anything else, Michele, you have a plan if something happens in your home. If there's a weather disaster, this is the plan we'll follow. Even for something like this, you have to have a plan ready. You can't have people say, well, I'll just get my garden hose out and, I'll wet the house down or I'll fight the fire myself or whatever. This is serious stuff and lives are lost when fires like this happen. And I hope I never live to see it in my lifetime, and I wouldn't wish fire on my worst enemy. But we've seen these videos now, these wildfires out in the western states where people, for some reason, ignore evacuation orders. For someone like you who is a firefighting professional, that's got to drive you just crazy when people ignore important evacuation orders like that.
Well, right. I think a lot of us feel in an emergency situation, maybe it won't happen to me, or that I have time. And unfortunately, when wildfires get extreme, when they move quickly with high intensities, you don't have a lot of time. So it really makes sense to plan ahead. Even for other kinds of emergencies, to have what we call a go kit or a 72-hour bag, materials that you will need if you have to leave your home or your place of business to go find shelter. You need to have some of these things with you, and you need to have an idea of where you'll go and how you'll go. Just trying to hop in your car and drive through smoke is a really bad idea. It's very, very dangerous. So people need to be aware that this kind of thing can happen at a moment's notice, and being prepared really, really helps. It gives you peace of mind, and it really does help people survive these kinds of events.
You're 1,000% right, and it's a plan that involves your children, your pets, elderly people in your family. You just never know when something like this is going to happen. So it seems like as our climates change and the world around us is changing, Michele, there's no real place on earth that's immune from having something like this happen. So I think information in advance is such an important thing. So where can people go to get some details on FireWise USA and some more things we talked about today?
Absolutely. I think the best place to start for people wanting to get moving on their activities in the community is www.firewise.org. That is going to give you the information about how to work with your neighbors, how to prepare your home, and how to take action with your teens and with your loved ones.
All right. Michele Steinberg, and thank you for your familiarity with our great state of New Jersey here. I appreciate that. She's with the National Fire Protection Association. Thank you for your time today, and enjoy the festivities. I know it's some nationwide attention that your group is getting tomorrow, but it's a good thing. So good luck with that. Stay safe, of course, and hopefully we could talk again soon.
Thank you so much, Bert. Have a great day.